and salutations, Epoch gamers. Big shit here. Project Epoch is making enormous changes to the profession system. In vanilla WoW, professions are rather underwhelming to the point where they are almost worth ignoring. Epoch flips this on its head with massively expanded craftables, gatherables, the addition of Wrath of the Lich King bonuses, and more. So grab yourself a fishing rod, find a pool of lava, sit back, relax, and enjoy this epic video created for your viewing pleasure by Big Shit Entertainment Enterprise Incorporated LLC-TM. So, as we all know, in vanilla WoW, despite a few exceptions, most professions are rather useless. Maybe you need one guild blacksmith or a leatherworker or something, but in reality, everyone kind of just goes herb or mining for the arcane crystals or black lotus. Otherwise, it's not really necessary to have them, and the gear provided from professions is rather underwhelming, especially while leveling. So thankfully the Epoch devs have realized this and have decided to give the old professions the fine-tuning they need. So professions are an integral part of the game, and they mean different things to different people. Okay, that's kind of gay, I hate, but whatever. Do you want to become a dude, I hate this kind of stuff. It just reminds me, I just instantly got like a flashback to the people that are like, her story, his story. It's just like, that's that icky speech. I don't know how to describe it. But either way, continue on. Do you want to become a popular crafter known in the community for having a specific recipe? What about maximizing your character's potential and choosing the professions that gives you the most power? Or do you want to be a gatherer traversing the dangerous parts of Azeroth for valuable trade goods to sell? At Project Epoch, we've made sure that we offer all of these things so that you can choose the path you want. Epic. Our philosophy. Our core philosophy with professions is to continue to add depth in unique ways and ensure that no matter what profession you pick, it will be a meaningful choice for your character. What makes professions meaningful? Is it the feeling of gathering all the materials for your Lionheart helm and finally delivering it to the server's only crafter? What about going on a mining trip for an hour and watching your gold tick up as your Thorimore sells on the auction house? Or even crafting your own lesser magic wand as an enchanter? One thing we've noticed is that all of these connect the player to the community in some way. In retail, professions have been watered down so that nothing meaningful is gained by spending the time and gold to level them up. Actually, I will say in Dragonflight, I played Dragonflight a little bit for I think about 3 weeks when the final patch came out, and the profession, they kind of reworked the professions and they added a profession specific auction house almost, and I think it was fine. I thought it was more interesting than most of the previous expansions professions, to be honest, but either way, that's besides the point. In vanilla, players have fond memories of finally crafting powerful items and have nostalgia for the grind it took to get them. So yeah, in vanilla, things like Devil's Sword Leather and Lionheart Helm. Lionheart Helm's a big one. I like Lionheart Helm. I think, like, I'm a fan. I think it's fine when something takes a lot of grinding that's outside of a raid or dungeon. Like, you can just grind gold or do mining trips, and eventually you gather the material needed to craft the Lionheart Helm, and that Lionheart Helm is near best in slot for a large portion of the expansion's lifespan. I think that's good. There needs to be more items like that, but I don't think every item should be like that. I think the odd item should be like that. And even things like Devil's Sword Leather, the Devil's Sword Leather set creates an entire type of gameplay in Ungoro Crater that would not exist if those pieces sucked. So if the Devil's Sword Leather sucked like all the other craftables in the game, then the Devil's Sword Mafia LARP and all those hilarious shenanigans that go on in Ungoro Crater would never have happened because people wouldn't be fighting over the Devil's Sword. So when you have to make stuff useful, and then it brings people into the world and it causes player interaction. So we need more stuff like that. And especially, there's another, like, in vanilla, all these mobs, like the Yetis, they drop Yeti hide. They drop these cool, unique hides, and then they just make the most dog shit, like 3 frost res, 3 nature res piece of gear ever. Like, whose fucking lazy ass, boring, uncreative scum idea was that? Like, why? I can think of like a cool Yeti set bonus. Maybe there's frost res. Maybe like when you have the 4 set of the Yeti armor, and like maybe you could even make some Yeti fist weapons with leatherworking, and like you get a chance on hit to proc like Yeti blast or something. You know, like you just do stuff like that. But they just made these horrible, lazy, garbage set bonuses for 99% of the gear. Is just a waste of time. So hopefully Epoch addresses this, and we'll see when we check the details out. But so yeah, ease of access. To ensure that players can get started on their professions early and make meaningful progress, we've ensured that all the racial secondary towns, Goldshire, Bloodhoof Village, have a full suite of gathering profession trainers available. If you're unsure where the new additions are, asking a guard should point you to the right direction. Good. One thing I've always hated about early versions of WoW, especially vanilla, is, oh, I want to get skinning or mining while I'm in Bloodhoof. I have to fucking run all the way to Orgrimmar or Thunderbluff or Ironforge to skill it. Like, quit. Like, don't waste my time. Just give me the profession. Like, give me the profession, and I'm already here. I want to be leveling. I don't want to fucking run to Orgrimmar and run around that shithole mud hut town for 2 hours finding the mining trainer in the back corner of the city. Like, let me just learn it from the guy in Razor Hill near the blacksmith. Like, please. Meaningful bonuses. One thing that Wrath of the Lich King introduced was bonuses given to players that had leveled primary professions. For example, blacksmiths could add a socket to the braces and gloves, while scribes could add special shoulder enchant. We really like this idea. See, I actually really do not like this idea. And so we put our own spin on it that we think stays true to vanilla principles. I did not like this in Wrath because it made it so you were I think professions should be something that aren't mandatory. Professions should be something that if you like that style of gameplay and you like, like making gold or crafting stuff and producing items, you should do it voluntarily and it should be worth your time. But if you're someone that fucking hates leveling professions, you shouldn't be forced to level a profession just to get like 10% stamina for mining or something. Because now you'll basically, as a tank, you're forced to level mining to max. And not everyone wants to go fucking level mining. Sometimes some players like making their gold through other means, and then they just want to buy stuff, which is fine because then you can buy, so you can be lazy and buy stuff from crafters. But now everyone's forced to level professions. I really hated that in Wrath of the Lich King. And we'll see what they've done in Epoch, but this is something I do not like. Like, if you make professions have useful items that you can sell or benefit from otherwise, you don't need to add the mandatory element with the extra gem sockets and such. But because now you pretty much have to go fucking mining blacksmith if you have the belt attached. Like, you need the stamina gem. Like, it's just, I don't like it. But moving on, increased variety. Across the board, you can safely assume that all crafting professions have received a wealth of new recipes to train, discover, and learn. Available from a variety of sources, these new recipes are guaranteed to shake up the profession and reagent meta for years to come. We consider professions a core aspect of World of Warcraft, and these will continue to receive updates, new features, and adjustments over time. And then Master Achievement. Every profession, including secondary profession, has received a new set of profession-specific quests. Good change. You'll find these quests across all skill ranges and all over the world. Additionally, there is a lengthy capstone quest with a unique reward for professions. Completing all quests in this category awards you a title appropriate to your chosen craft. So you can flex your status and experience enchanter or blacksmith around or two all around you. That's a good change. There needs to be more profession specific quests. Like, they really need to be fleshed out more. Yeah, given some more LARP gameplay. So we'll move on to the details. Let's get into the nitty gritty. So Alchemy. Alchemy thrives throughout Vanilla, Burning Crusade, and Wrath of the Lich King trilogy. Building on this strong foundation, we've drawn inspiration from the future while introducing our own creative twists. So they've added the Philosopher's Stone trinkets. Cool. The one thing I like about these Philosopher's Stones is they're not like mandatory. They're nice little bonus trinkets, but they're not absolutely insanely OP. So the Rework Philosopher's Stone is now an upgradable and equipable trinket. Begin with a crude Philosopher's Stone and refine it into powerful tiers with the inlaid Philosopher's Stone to unlock transmutations. Okay, that's fine. Profession bonus mixology, you receive 100% increased duration and 25% increased effect. See, that's good. That's a good effect, but that's not something that I think is mandatory. You know what I mean? Maybe it's a little bit, but I don't know. I think this is like an example of one profession specific effect that's fine. Or even the ability to, like, maybe I think this should be removed, but I do like this, like a double duration and even the chance to, if you're a high level guy with like the potion master or whatever, you can double craft potions, or the elixir master double craft elixir. That stuff's cool, and I think this one's good. I'm kind of torn on this, but either way, it's a little bit inoffensive since it's only 25%. And then new recipes. Enhance your strength with powerful options like the melee and ranged attack power flask, or broaden your abilities with versatile reputation elixirs. Discover an array of new potions, flasks, and elixirs to craft, consume, and trade. So let's see. I think this is a new one. So cures up to 4 diseases, and then increase Flask of Overwhelming Might. Increase melee and range attack power by 9. So yeah, there's some new options. And then Blacksmithing. Blacksmithing thrives as a craft of strength and ingenuity, shaping tools of battle and protection. Inspired by Wrath, Lich King, and enhanced with our creative twist, we refined and expanded this iconic profession to make it even more rewarding for aspiring smiths. Some new items, I guess. Level 35. New, it looks like a pally tank shield, but it would be decent for pretty much any shield wearer. Even enhanced shaman, if you want to tank as a shaman, there you go. Stam int, int spirit mace with spell damage. So there's just some new options. New neck as well, level 13. Shadow gem pendant, cool. Profession bonus, repair all. Stay battle ready with repair all, a new blacksmithing ability that instantly restores the durability of all your gear with 2 ranks offering cooldowns of 8 and 4 hours. This skill ensures you're always prepared. That's cool. See, that makes sense. Like, blacksmiths should be able to repair their own gear. Blacksmiths forge new possibilities with the powerful belt buckles. Permanent enchants for belts that boost all stats. Available in 4 tiers. These upgrades ensure that every level can benefit from the blacksmith's craft. So is this only blacksmiths get to use this? Like, obviously blacksmiths have to make it, but if I don't have my blacksmithing at 350, can I as someone with like maybe, I don't know, enchanting and fucking something else, you know, like enchanting and skinning maybe, can I buy a belt buckle from a blacksmith? That's what I'm not sure how this is working, or if it works like Wrath where you have to have the skill. And then yeah, new recipes. So there are some examples of the new recipes. Hopefully they need to expand the craftables to have actual useful items. Now cooking. It remains a simple and accessible profession, perfect for crafting. Yeah, we don't care about the lore of cooking. So black coffee, new addition. They've added black coffee. This is one sec, sip of coffee. I have to make the sipping sound so you guys know I'm really drinking coffee. Start your day with a strong brew of black coffee, perfect for waking up and staying alert during your adventure. Simply an essential drink for any. So what does it actually do? I don't know. Juicy bear burgers. So they have added juicy bear burgers and more. So here's some examples of the food. So protein shake is just a drink. Deviate feast. Oh, so you can actually could cooks make drinks before? I wonder. Deviate Feast, that's cool. So it's like the Deviate Delight, but you can make a delectable, delicious Deviate Feast for everyone to destroy and get their pirate or skeleton costume. So I don't know, cool little feature they've added. And then Crestfall Crab Taco, well fed, gives you reduce the attack power of enemies behind. What the hell? That's a weird effect. So you will become well fed and gain a chance upon taking damage to reduce the attack power of enemies behind you. What is that, for running away or something? Like, that's a weird thing. That's very weird. Maybe it's good against rogues. It's good for PvP against rogues. Okay, Enchanting. Enchanting is the art of imbuing the mundane with the magical, elevating equipment and spells and arcane power. Sorry, elevating equipment with spells and arcane power, inspired by the bonuses from Wrath and enriched with a custom flair. Epoch's enchanting system offers new effects, rewards, and depth to reward those who seek mastery of this ancient art. It's a bit of a hard read when it says rewards and depths to reward. See, so enchant ring, spell power. Okay, so it's only 6. Alright, that's not too offensive. Because I remember I had the level fucking enchanting when I played Cataclysm for a bit, and I was pissed off about that. I did not like I don't want to fucking level enchanting just to put a goddamn enchant on my ring. It's annoying. But either way, this seems rather inoffensive. It's only plus 6. So if you have 2 plus 12, it's not going to be... It'll be like a minute DPS increase. And then other additions, so Staff of the Moon. Oh yeah, see how they have set Spirit increased by 20 during the night? They've added a day-night cycle with special effects during that cycle. So during the day, some things will get a bonus effect, and during the night. So that's something I haven't talked about yet. Maybe I'll make a video talking about the miscellaneous features. And then yeah, also Orb of Calamity. So let's take a look at this item. So use heal friendly target for 500 to 616 or deal nature damage to an enemy, 30-minute cooldown. So just a cool little offhand with a little use. Nice additions. Ring enchants. We know the ring enchants. Spell power, attack power, stamina enchants. So those are the 3 options. When shard transmute. Don't let your materials go to waste. All small shards can be transformed into larger shards of the same type on a 20-hour shared cooldown. I don't really know the implication or the ratios that they'll have, but I don't know. I can't really say that's a bad or good change. I think probably good. That's another. Actually, no. I'll take it back. That's a good change. One thing I hate about the design of like a 1 to 60 MMO is that the lower level materials their only purpose is to get you to the higher level materials, and then they're garbage. And being able to like transmute them or upgrade them to make them still useful that's a good change. And then staff crafting. So enchanters will now be able to craft metal staves using new materials. I don't know why they couldn't before. Like, who can make staves? You can make everything, but you can't make staves. And then engineering. Everyone knows engineering, the mandatory vanilla profession, and it's probably still going to be fucking mandatory. So 20 slot tackle box, reinforced tiger goggles. What's this? Improves your chance to get a critical strike with melee. Good twink item. Raven Tusk disguise. Transforms the caster to the appearance of a Raven Tusk troll. So more cosmetic stuff. Interesting. Engineering historically held the top spot as the most valuable profession in vanilla. In order to balance desirability between professions, it does not boast a statistic bonus for its practitioners. It still has all the same tools, plus some new LARP stuff. And then Goblin or Gnomish engineering have been expanded upon. So engineering is about the only well-designed profession in vanilla WoW. All the other ones suck ass. Like, people think engineering is OP, but the reality is engineering is well designed. It actually has cool gameplay elements like sapper charges, the death ray, and even TBC they added the bazooka trinket. Like, it's well designed. It actually has fun items to use, and all the other professions are just dog ass. Good change to everything else. And then fishing. So they've actually added some fishing stuff. They've added the tackle box. I don't know. I guess inventory management for fishing. Fishing with flair. Fishing has been lovingly restored to vanilla zones and implemented in our custom content. As you explore every shore, carry your lures in style with the new fishing tackle boxes. At casting fire. One of our new custom fishing areas is anywhere you find lava, but not just any rod will do. You'll need to search out one of 2 rods capable of angling in these most treacherous of waters, ? So yeah, there's lava fish now. I'm assuming this raw molten skullfish is an example of a lava fish that you can catch. And then bobbing with friends. Daily quests for fishing are available in Blackmaw Village at lunch. at launch. Completing every daily is one of the requirements for a new fishing meta achievement, which rewards the salty title. So cool fishing content. Fishing's kind of a LARP skill. Some people really like it, others hate it. I've never really been the type of guy who's been fucked to do fishing, but I know people who do like it, so there you go. Now you can chill and catch fish in the lava pools. And then first aid. So it's 1.12 first aid, triage, capstone quest, and hammerfall and thermore, so you still have to do triage. The bandages have been buffed since TBC stamina scaling is in effect, and first aid materials are now objectives of quests, opening a new market for crafting and selling your... Oh, so like some quests will ask for bandages, so you can... someone who levels first aid can actually just like make them and turn the quest in, or sell them on the auction house and people will buy them and turn the quest in, so I guess it makes sense. Not really that big of a change, but if you have extra bandages, you can actually sell them on the AH now instead of just vendoring. And then herbalism. Herbalism flourishes as a gathering profession. We don't need that's like I don't know why I keep reading the LARP. We don't need to read the LARP. White Lotus, White Tide Lotus quest item, Lotus Affinity. You sometimes find Black Lotus from high level herbs. Cool. So I guess it just increased Black Lotus availability, and then you get a nature resist to. Sorry, you get a resistance to all magic by 10. So you get a flat 10 magic resist to every school of magic, just if you have herbalism. Lotus Affinity. Like later versions of WoW, herbalists on Epoch will sometimes find Black Lotus. Yep. Many creatures throughout the world can now be herbed upon death to grant additional resources. Yeah, it would make sense that like some of the moss or nature creatures in WoW that are like leaf monsters or something, you can herb them. I think some you could herb, or maybe that was added later, but even something like a moss giant. Wait, is that a thing in vanilla WoW? Or my fucking RuneScape brain? I don't think that's a thing. I don't know. But even like a stone... Okay, let's say like the stone giant. They have like little grass growing on them. You should be able to herb them. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I found a lotus growing on this fucking giant. Or something. Not a lotus maybe, but you know what I mean. And then leatherworking. This is where I went on the tangent about like the Yeti armor. So leatherworking endures as the craft of wild hunts and hardened hides, transforming beast skin into battle-ready gear. We've expanded this profession beyond its classic era roots, introducing unique patterns, exotic sets, and a new reason to chase down the rarest prey in Azrael. So armor kits, you'll have access to temporary armor kits that attach to temporary So you can get temporary bracer buff of spell power, attack power, and stam. A rush to battle or speed away from danger using a custom leatherworking saddle that increases your mount speed up to 5% at max level. Please make, dude, please make a leatherworking saddle that deletes daze out of the game. I fucking hate the daze mechanic. There's nothing that aggravates me more than running on my mount, getting auto attacked by a noob mob, and just being dazed. It makes me want to fucking throw the monitor out the window. So we need a saddle that gets rid of that bullshit, and I will go leatherworking if that's the case. And then dragons and elements. While new recipes are available for all leatherworking, we've particularly focused on new patterns for dragon scale and elemental specializations. Blue dragon scale boots, arcane res, 10 all res, new set, and yeah, just some new pieces along leveling. So hopefully, I don't know, they haven't stated here, but I really hope they expand upon like these stupid Yeti sets. Just make them something new, make them cool. If I see like a Wyvern set or a Yeti set with just boring nature res on it, I'm gonna like that, and that's it. Just that green shit useless set that you have to collect Yeti hides for. I'm gonna be pissed. So make it good. And mining endures the backbone of industry. And shut up. Made of metal. All the hard work you put into mining has made you incredibly tough. See, this I don't like. Basically, now tanks are forced to go mining. If you're tanking, you have to have mining. Which I guess mining is useful for tank classes, but 5% stam, and that gets better as the gear gets better as well because it's percentage based. So like a lot of times people go mining early and they'll swap to blacksmithing. And I guess you have access to like the buckles. You could go blacksmithing, enchanting for buckles and ring enchants. But I don't know if that'll beat 5% flat. Sorry, 5% health stamina scaling once you start accumulating high stam numbers later on in the not expansion, but in the server's life. So I don't like stuff like this, but it's okay. It's not like a deal breaker for me. I just think it's lazy. I don't know if it's lazy, but I think it's a cheap way of forcing people to engage in content. And I think you can make incentives that are worth doing but can be skipped, or someone could just like buy it from a crafter, if that makes sense, rather than having to go through the process of running around mining everything just for this buff. So, but either way, I guess with how slow leveling is in vanilla, you kind of it's worth leveling profession anyways. So I'll probably end up going mining if I play warrior, even if I'm DPS warrior, because having extra health for PvP and even for raid mechanics, especially if there's some like cleave fights like TBC love to add. Melee just loves getting hit by cleave damage in TBC, so having the extra stam just makes your survivability better. It makes it easier. So I don't know, but it is what it is. A load of ore. Though it's still in its experimental phase, miners may encounter Arcanite lodes in the world. These special nodes need extra work to harvest, but they're worth the investment. So I don't really know what this entails, but that like if there's like a huge, like just like it's like a rich Arcanite. What the fuck? Arcanite loads. Well, we'll see. Let's see what the Discord has to say. Thorkel the Tall says, you will probably suffer if you pick mining as one of the two gathering professions for that route. However, everyone else is aware that you will suffer, so they might try to do it for that suffering market. Plus, Arcanite loads of dubious and unknown potential exist. Of dubious and unknown potential. Okay, so we don't know the potential of the Arcanite loads, but it's dubious and unknown, so just keep that in mind. And then malicious mining. Many creatures of the world can now be mined. Yeah, they've added that in like, I think TBC. Was it TBC or was it RAT? I don't know. They added, at some point you could mine lots of mobs. Maybe it was even vanilla. I don't remember. And then skinning. This one makes sense. Your appreciates for the art of hunting. Increase your damage done to beasts and dragons by 5%. This one makes sense, but again, it's another buff from professions, and 5% damage is a decent damage increase. So skinners will be, they'll be pumping on Onyxia. So yeah, this rare hides. We've added new recipes that utilize many. Thank God. Oh, thank God they've done it. That dude, I could rant about that for hours. All I think about is the Yeti hide, and it pisses me the fuck off. So they've added use to many of the rare hides that had no value. Thank God. And then a classic classic start profession. It remains an easy profession for beginners to adapt, helping put a little extra gold in your pocket while leveling. Yep, skinning while leveling, a classic strategy in vanilla, nice vendor gold, and yeah. So then tailoring, finally tailoring. So we got Iron Web cloak, Acolyte's glove, and Dreamweaver's boots. Some new pieces here. It's like a tank. Another armor stem hint. That'd be decent for like a bear. Not a bear, sorry, a shaman. I mean, it's decent for anyone. Armor is even decent in PvP on clothies. Embroider your work. Similar to bonus available in Wrath of the Lich King, tailors have access to 5 tiers of embroidery threads usable on your cloak. Choose between spell power, attack power, and stamina variants. Okay, so same as like, it's just like the Wrath stuff. Cloth scavenging. Most humanoid enemies in the world can drop cloth as a reward. Tailors have an eye for this sort of scavenging and find more cloth. Cool. No complaint there about that change. And then new recipes such as mooncloth pieces. Oh, that's sorry. It's a rework to the mooncloth set, and there's a number of new recipes as well. So overall, I mean, the professions definitely needed some sprucing up in Vanilla WoW. They were a big pile of shit, and now they're better. So good job, Epoch. Happy about most of the changes other than stuff like this 5% stamina. But it's not the end of the world, and catch you guys later.